Search Engine Optimization in 2016. Hello, it's Thursday down at the farm. Coming to the end of my time in Canada. Got to go back to Blighty, as we call England. You knew that, didn't you? But still a few more days, we'll just get in, but it's getting a bit cold. End of Feb, not end of Feb, sorry, beginning of March. I get confused, but it is still so quiet with no helicopters, no planes and no trains at the moment. I bet you one's coming in a minute. So who am I? I am John Butt. What do? Well, I'm the founder of marketingforowners.com. What else do you do, John? Well, funny you should ask. I do a podcast Monday and Tuesday and Thursday and Friday. It's just me, 10 minutes, riffing the camera, like now. On Wednesday, yesterday, did you catch that? Dave Kirpin, isn't he cool? On Wednesday, I have the expert interview series. And what I do is I interview the best online marketing people in the entire world, or in the Western world, English speaking. Apologies to everyone else. It's for my audience. And I ask them the questions that you want to know about how they do their marketing and how it can relate to us. And the funny thing is what I'm really doing, don't tell them this, is I'm kind of getting free training, because otherwise I'd probably have to pay them a few $1,000s to get this one-on-one time. And I try to ask them questions that no one else asks them. So it's well worth a listen. Go back and have a look. Now, one of the things that comes up every now and again is search engine optimization, but people don't talk about it so much anymore because it changes. Search engine optimization, by the way, I'm going to refer to as SEO for the rest to save time, but it changes, and in effect, it's Google's whim. So Google wants its search engine results to be clean and fair and for the good of the good. It doesn't want people spamming it. It doesn't want people black hatting to get to the top artificially. It doesn't want to be full of results for Viagra and for results of pages with no information that just copy everyone else. It wants genuine information because its customers are people that search. If people don't find what they want on Google, they'll go and use Bing. Google wants to have the best experience, so it does its best. So for us marketing, if we've got a website, we want people to find our content. And wouldn't it be fantastic if we could just be number one in Google when anyone searched for any term? If we came up at the top, well, it's unlikely to happen, but there are some things you can do. First of all, what's called on-page optimization. So the way you set up your page, that's going to help, and that hasn't really changed. Now, if you follow our advice, you will use a WordPress website. You will be in control. It will not be the free version of WordPress, let me explain. Not the free hosted version that WordPress hosts themselves at wordpress.com. Not that one. WordPress is still free to download, but then you pay for a hosting company and you are in control of your own. Do not use the free one. Do not use blogger.com, please. I'm not going to explain it today. Just don't. So use WordPress, and then you can use plugins. You can use plugins such as Yoast SEO, Platinum SEO, All-in-One SEO, and these things set the site up perfectly. But on a web page, you need to craft a good title. The title should have a keyword in it, the keyword for the page. You need to include that keyword in the first couple of paragraphs of your writing, maybe a couple of times, naturally. And then, if you write correctly, you're going to mention the keyword in passing or related keywords. Google's robots are incredibly smart, almost artificial intelligence smart. They know when they're related terms. I mean, I give an example. For instance, you could be writing about Cars. Cars, the band, music band. Cars, the movie, Pixar. Cars, used cars. What else? Toy cars. Google will know because it can understand the writing. It's hard to explain, but they can. So there's no need to just write the word cars, 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 cars. They know. They'll know that a vehicle is a car. They'll know that Pixar means that. They'll know that automotive or auto is related to cars. They know what these things mean. It's just clever. I always recommend having the keyword at the end of the last paragraph on the page as well. In addition, you need to have that keyword in your what's called the meta title. You can figure out what that is. You should put it in your meta description. However, the search engines don't really take a lot of notice, but that description is what is going to come up in the search engine. So your reader will see it, and it generally is highlighted, bold, if that is the keyword they have entered. Very important. And the same in your meta title that comes up there as well. If you have images, it's best to use the keyword somehow in the alt tag of the image. It's also a good idea to use it in the file name of the image. It's also a good idea to use the keyword in what's called the URL slug of the web page. Again, if you're doing this on WordPress, then you'll figure it out. If you want to know how to do it, if you want to learn, if you want to change your website to be WordPress, if you want to set up a website in WordPress, we have a course. It is at www.website101.co. You can follow it through. You don't have to be a techie in any way. My mum could do this. It is click by click, every single click and step to set it up and to make a website that not only is good for SEO, but is good for capturing leads and working the system. But anyway, that's basic. The other way of SEO in 2016 is just to simply forget SEO. Beyond that, you need links. You need other sites and other people to link to you. But forget about it in SEO terms. Think of it as I explained on Tuesday, as leveraging important people's audiences. So what you can do is create fantastic content. Now, I don't mean just write an article that you think's good. I mean create something really good. A massive resource, a guide, a consumer guide, a be-all and end-all, every single piece of information about. So, for instance, if you're explaining how the best way to groom your dog, how about the consumer's guide to dog grooming? Everything, what to do, what not to do, what tools to use, what not to use, what to look out for, how to do big dogs, how to do small dogs, how to do long hair, how to do short hair, resources, charities, everything. Then, once you've written this, and don't be self-promotional, this is going to be on your own website. It's kind of inferred who you are and that you're an expert. You can put a little link at the end, but don't say we do this, because other people won't share so much. Then contact people who are big in your space. Journalists, pet magazines, dog magazines, pet stores, dog charities, dog websites, pet websites. You get the gist, yeah? And contact them, find the email address of the person, write a very simple email and say, hey, I see, check their, by the way, before you do, check their blog, make sure they do share stuff like this. Say, I see your website or your paper or your magazine about things, and I've been reading it and I love it. And especially the article you wrote on so-and-so, quote something that is specific to their site, put some effort into this, and then say, I write about similar things. And noticing that you cover dog grooming, we've put together what we actually think is possibly the biggest resource and the most comprehensive resource on dog grooming ever. And we thought maybe you may be interested to see what you think. And you've got two choices here. You can either, if they are very, very, very important, consider that they get these all day long and it's a bit tiring. So when you say, we'd like to know if you what you think, then just say, would it be okay to send you the link? Regards, John. So don't give them the link. because this will be surprising. They have the opportunity to answer and say, yeah, sure, send it over. Then you know they're going to look. Okay, then you can send it and say, please let me know what you think. That is miles better. The second option is to simply send them the link if they are not the mega important ones. Send them the link and say, just love to know what you think. Don't ask them to do anything. Don't ask them to share it. Don't ask them to link to you. Nothing. Do that. Do that periodically. Do that every month. Don't do it with every single little article. And over time, you will find that some of these people will share this when they are looking for great information to share on the social media, when they are building their own resources and looking to include some fantastic guides about things. They'll say, here's one on dog grooming and link to yours. It may not be today, it may not be next week, but journalists and magazines and blogs, they want information to share with their clients and their readers. This is how it works. And then they link to you. They link in their terms. They link with the words they want to use. You're not spamming it. It's their choice. And Google likes that. Get a lot of links like that. Get them from important websites that Google thinks are important. And you, my friend, will climb up those ratings in Google, all those rankings, and do it over time, over a couple of years. You'll be shocked at how well you can do. How about that? Yeah, exactly. Good, eh? This is all good stuff. And by the way, yeah, anything that works, anything you're going to think, oh, I haven't got time for that, anything that anyone tells you works quicker won't work or will get you in trouble. It's as simple as that. Simple formula. The faster it works, the less likely it will work, the more likely you'll get in trouble. Quick finish. Podcast time, Drive Time podcast. Today, this guy has been on his radio, he's on everything. He is a professional broadcaster. So unlike a lot of podcasts, unlike little old me, this guy's a pro. His name is Srini Rao. It's Srinivas Rao. If you want to know how to spell it, either just Google it like that, Google's clever like I said, or just go to marketingforowners.com/podcast/334 and the links will be there. His podcast is called Unmistakable Creative. If you search for Unmistakable Creative in either Google or in iTunes, you'll find it. Now, very simple. This was described in their description as TED Talks meets Oprah. And it's very candid chats. It's not a bunch of questions. The guy's a proper interviewer, very confident. He's, like I say, he's been around for ages. He gets very, very interesting talks out of some very, very top people. I recommend Srini Rao. Go listen. I'll catch you tomorrow.